Welcome, guys, to Candid Talk, episode 148. We're here live with the Love Heals owners of Love Heals organization, the nonprofit organization that basically does the good. They're the Robin Hoods of the world, if you will. Take some time here to introduce our people here. We have Sarah and Courtney with us.
Hello.
To the people at home, TikTok Live, you can see this episode on YouTube eventually, and this is an edited episode from 434 Hub. Thank you. Let's dive into it, man. We've had some fun off air behind these cameras. Well, guess we'll just jump right into this, man. Yes. Love Heals, guys. So, first of all, introduce yourselves and say where you're from. And I want to ask something about the organization. So, start.
Okay. My name is Sarah Nelson. I'm from Fayetteville, North Carolina, and I've now lived in Lynchburg for about 7 years.
Okay. How about you, Courtney?
My name is Courtney Green. What was the second part I was supposed
Where
to
are
say?
you
We're
from?
from New York. I'm originally from New York, but I moved here from Florida, and I've been in Lynchburg for 9 years now.
Wow.
I can't be right, so that means I've been here for 8 years. Yeah, so I've been here. Yeah, I was right. You're wrong. Oh.
New York, Florida, and VA. What was the best and worst, I guess?
I don't know. It's hard to say. I was like originally used to New York's cloudy weather. But then when I went to Florida, and after about a year of hating the sun because it was always so sunny, and I was like, where's the rain? Then I got used to vitamin D, and now I love the beach and vitamin D. I hated it at the time. So now I feel like I wasted that opportunity. And now Virginia is really affordable.
Yeah.
So as an adult,
Yeah.
I think Virginia is probably the best because Naples, Florida was real expensive. As an 18-year-old trying to make it down there.
They say that's where the old heads go to retire.
They say it's God's waiting room.
What the to the lamp there. Dude.
Yeah.
Thank you. TikTok Nation, thank y'all. Double tap the screen until your thumbs get slightly red, guys. So the Love Heals organization. I want to know the origin, who thought of this, and then how did you two pair up?
Origin story. Okay, best friend was diagnosed with breast cancer 2017. We were actually, it was the 4th of July, we were going to go like down the rapids for the 4th of July, and we were driving, and she looked at me and was like, well, my sister just moved overseas and I found out I might have cancer. And I was like, well, that was quite a way to break that news. And so we just went about our day, because what are you supposed to say? There's nothing really else you can do about it. But I ended up going with her to her biopsies and other appointments. And from there, watched the diagnosis happen. And from there, realized how few people know how to treat people who are sick. And we just we fumble human experiences, and we accidentally identify people by their thing they're going through instead of who they are. And so she became cancer, which is like, it's just not who we are. And so as much as people mean well, they just kept making it worse. And they meant the right things, but they're just saying it in all the wrong ways. So we just talked, how do you love people who are trying to heal? Because everyone's healing from something.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we make this more normal, and how do we have fun along the way? And so that was really what Love Heals was how to do this, how to be human. Then a year later, she needed support paying for a treatment. She just asked me to pray, and I was like, I would like to do something. Okay. So I told a coworker at a restaurant I was working at, and we ended up throwing together a concert, and she came from Richmond, which is 2 hours away from here, and shared her story at the show. We had 5 bands come out, and we raised enough for her treatment. And someone was like, what's it called? And I was like, Love Heals, because I needed to name it something. I panicked. I was like, it's not anything. And then from there, people really resonated with the whole, we're not what we go through. We are, like, what is our identity? And so stories just came forward, and people asked when the next show would be. And so we did that first event in November of 2018. I graduated in December. Okay. And then from there, just sort of responding to what people were asking for, which was more opportunities like that. So yeah, from there we did a couple other shows and took a formula, which was quality music plus meeting the person that you're supporting, plus knowing 100% of your donation went to that person.
Okay.
And that was the formula. And so just recycling it over the years, paying for out of pocket and slowly transitioning from that to going to Los Angeles to do a bike ride down the coast of California, which is when Sarah entered the screen from stage left, and she came out to LA with us for a show, and I'll pass it to you.
That's wow, a unique one. I mean, I love it. You thought of a unique way to help people. You know what I mean? Doing a concert, letting people enjoy their night for a good cause. So that's very vital, right? That's something that I think people can really appreciate. You met, what is stage left? Are you saying she's to the left?
Yeah.
I thought that was actual
She's
thing.
entering.
I thought Sarah was a part of a band called Stage Left,
No,
guys.
no, but I could join a band.
It's a
called
great-
Stage
Yeah.
Left.
Great name, right?
Save love.
We're gonna keep that. We're gonna put that in the notes right
We're
there.
gonna trademark it. No one else can take that.
No one else can take that.
It's ours.
Thank you guys. Thank you for the love. Thank you. So Sarah,
Yeah.
you meet Courtney. You hear about this cause. What in you that said, I want to do this. What was in you?
Well, ironically, I met her, and it was right before they were gonna go out to California and do the bike ride, and she was like, "Do you want to come?" And I was like, "No." So I was like, that sounds horrible. I don't want to bike ride 300 miles through California. California sounds cool though. But we were doing some kind of pre-California shows and tabling in Lynchburg. And so she was like, "Well, if you want to come hang out, we're going to be selling t-shirts at a brewery later." And I was like, "I'll do that. That sounds easy. I'll get beer and come hang out." So I did that. And then I ended up I did that a couple different times and ended up talking to a lot of people, tabling okay, sorry, that scared me. Sorry. Helping the table at stuff. A lot of people, it shocked me the amount of people that came up. There was one day in particular where I just had person after person come up to me and was running the table by myself, telling me like, "Oh my gosh, I had cancer. My son watched me go through this," and he's like 4, and he was standing right there, and I was like, "Oh my gosh." So that kind of got me a little more into it, and then I ended up taking off work for about 2 weeks, flying to California to do the concert with them anyways, because I was like, this is just kind of a really cool, I just wanted to do it. And the people were really good, so flew out there. I skipped the bike ride portion because that still sounded horrible. She would call me from the bike and was like, "I'm in pain." So I was like, "Cool, I'm gonna catch a plane."
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got out there and helped them do the show, and we stayed with the woman that we were doing the show for. She had breast, bone, liver, and spleen cancer. And so I just got to very quickly went from volunteer to like fully immersed in what it was like to kind of see the sick person really up close. And then they kind of couldn't get rid of me, so we got back. I just kept volunteering, helping them with socials, and like tabling and anything. Ended up joining the board of directors, and then rolled off and became staff. So.
Wow, man. So you guys, I'm assuming you gelled immediately. You kind of can tell like the personalities worked out well to get to get this done. Was there any challenges? I'm sure it was, but can you explain the challenges? Yeah, can you, for people out there who they may want to start an organization, they don't really know how to go about it, they don't really know what they're going to go through in their first 6 months to a year.
Yeah.
Can you kind of explain some of the challenges of putting together a nonprofit organization and, organizing these bands and getting to these venues? Speak on some early challenges that you overcame.
And we're still trying to overcome. Events are hard. First of all, they're already a hard model because you have such low. There's just not a lot of margin to mess up. So we already picked the hardest thing, and our model is pretty terrible. It's give away everything you raise. So we really give away most of what we have because we want to be transparent, and we have the 100% model. Just because we've seen so many nonprofits not be as transparent with funds. And so we really wanted to just give people a true, genuine experience to change someone's life. So I mean, you gotta, I didn't go into it starting a nonprofit, I went into it to help a friend. And because of that, I think we were a little bit more like naive to things. I call it discovery. It's like, oh, what's behind that door? I didn't know that was gonna be there.
Yeah.
But I always say, like, when people, I give them a list of resources, like if you're starting a nonprofit, call the foundations group out of Tennessee, talk with them. They can give you all the resources you need when it comes to bylaws, amendments, board development. Go to the professionals and do that. Don't try to muscle your way through it because it's a lot and it's overwhelming. And then always look into Patrick Lucioni's Working Genius.
Okay.
Figure out what your working genius is, and then staff/build your team around your weaknesses. So that's my first 2 steps. Go to the foundation group, Patrick Lucioni Working Genius. Start there.
Man, that's the blueprint right there from Courtney right there. We like that,
You just
man.
call me. I talk to people all the time. It's whatever. I'll tell you. Or I'll be like, merge. Just merge with somebody else.
Yeah.
Well, how much, when the event is on the way, you know, for the people at home, there are concert benefit, you know, they throw these things together, they put these events together for people. Is it a lot of stress and pressure when this show is on the way? And
Yes.
does this have, I know this is in performance, you know, my lane of acting or comedy, it's a lot of build up, but when you actually get to that moment and you get through it, you exhale, you know what I mean? So talk about the pressure that builds up to the moment, and for the people at home, can you tell them on how it feels when you really feel like you've affected or changed someone's life, or the family that you meet? You meet the family members of these people, you know, talk about the pressure, just talk about how it ends, you know what I mean? A fulfilling moment when you're done, you can say, we got this done.
I mean, we always have there's a pressure of, because currently we're the staff, we do all the things, so we promote, we set up the bands, we set up the venue, so we're doing all the things. And then there's the added pressure of, because we're doing it for someone who's in need, what if we do all the work and no one shows up? And someone comes to share their story. What we never, ever, ever want is for someone to come to share their story to a room of 2 people. Because
Gotcha.
what makes you feel more alone?
Yeah, our vision is no one walks through hardship alone, or no
Yeah.
one should walk through hardship alone. So I'm like, boy, if that ever happens, we just gotta shut it down, because that's not the point.
Yeah.
The point's to create environments for listening and healing, celebration and support, and so we need all hands on deck to make that happen.
Yeah, we're big on we want you to donate to whoever we're raising the funds for, but the biggest thing is we just want you there. Like, presence matters
Yeah.
so much more than the funds. What matters is you being there to hear their story and actually walk alongside them, bring this person a meal, text, if someone's going through something, text them, talk to them. And then something I started doing last year, and I'm sure I had been doing it beforehand, but something I started consciously doing last year, because I'm day of coordinator, so I'm running around constantly, is at some point through the night, I try to do it with the artist and then also with the person while they're sharing their story, is I try to just go in the very back of the room and focus on one person who you can tell is really, they're either emotional or they're singing the songs, someone who's really tuned in.
Yeah.
And I just try to tune into them for a second, and it just shifts my perspective and makes me see everyone else in the room a little bit, not as heads in the room, but as individuals who are there for the music or there for the story.
Yes.
So that's been something that really centers me when we're in the hustle and the bustle of events. Just kind of bringing it back to the people.
Inspirations, man. You know, to have what you guys, basically the compassion that you guys, walk around with, would you inspire anyone, family members or anyone growing up that kind of showed you this compassionate way? You know, a lot of us have origins of, we'll look back and think about it. I kind of looked up to that person. I kind of, anybody in your life, it could be a family member, anyone that you feel like showed you compassion first, or showed you, you know what I mean? I think that's important. You guys got anything on that? Any inspirations?
Honestly, for me, I come from a good family, but not the best. For me, it's really more, I always want to be what I didn't have, and that's what it is. So I didn't have I have I'm not trying to blast my family, they're great.
Oh, no,
But they're not the most open door policy. I'm everyone's welcome, everyone come. I'm a very big on friends are your family, they're your community. You lean into that stuff. You're the same with that. So to me, it's how can I be what I haven't had?
Yes.
And I've witnessed from people. I try to I used to be very stingy with money, a lot of anxiety around spending, and I didn't want to be generous. And so there are people I've witnessed over my life, buy a meal for somebody, and I just was oh, you're a generous person. There's a friend in Florida, she would do that. I was oh, that's what generosity looks like. I want to be generous, or oh, that's what empathetic listening looks like. So I don't know if there's like one particular person or it's been like a conglomerate of witnessing people at their best and trying to mirror that, and then showing up for ways that you wish someone had showed up for you.
Yeah, I do believe that our experiences can mold us, you know what I mean, in life. You know, it's like a single parent kid may grow up to be the best parent in the world. Yeah, I did it myself, and I love being a dad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think it's really good to highlight that. I want to speak on this next show event. This is not for a specific person. This is like a land project, if you will.
Yeah.
Speak on who you're working with and what is the goal at the end of this.
Me?
Thank you, TikTok. Oh, so Joe from TikTok Nation says she loves this and she loves y'all. Thank y'all, Joe. Thank you guys.
Call us.
Thank you for the likes. 3.2 thousand already.
Wow.
I'll talk you through your things.
There you go.
We'll go virtual
She's
coffee.
not a therapist. So
No, I
maybe
don't know.
just
I'll just talk you
don't do
into
that.
or out of starting a nonprofit. That's
Depending
all.
on who you ask. I don't know.
No, but yeah.
Late night show. Courtney.
No,
Yeah.
I'll be like, we're gonna get Stella,
No.
but it'll be me.
We're
It'll
gonna
be
see.
like, we're gonna get Steve.
I like that right.
Kind of
Keep
haunting.
That is a little spooky right there.
Yeah.
Comment section laughing at that. Thank
It's
you.
not enough syllables. It's just two.
We'll just add some extra letters in there. Okay.
It doesn't
Fun.
ring.
This is amazing.
Back to you,
Yeah,
stage
no,
left.
keep singing.
Nope.
Okay.
Karaoke night with Candid Talk, episode 140.
We're doing a
On
house
to
show.
something.
We're doing a house show.
On to something. Thank
Here
you.
come.
That's not
Yes.
the next show.
That's
But
not the next show.
yeah, no, the next show that we're doing is this Saturday, April 26th,
Okay.
at Three Roads Brewing with Oceanic. They're currently touring artists out of Charlotte, North Carolina, like an indie pop vibe, really cool. They just released a new song called Hold Me. It's really good.
Nice,
Check
okay.
it out.
That's Spotify.
Yeah, on Spotify and anywhere you stream. We started in Lynchburg. We're not from Lynchburg, but we started in Lynchburg, and we've worked a lot with like just local businesses, Lynchburg people. We wanted this to be kind of what we've been calling our love letter to Lynchburg.
Okay.
So the ticket sales from this event are going to go in partnership with the Awareness Garden. We'll be building a Love Hills Butterfly Garden. And if you want to talk a little bit about the memorial butterflies.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we just wanted to partner. We wanted to leave something behind for the community where we started, because like you can't start anything on your own. You have to have people behind you, and Lynchburg's been a really generous community to us. People have given us their time and their energy to conversate, ideate, help guide. And so we're like, we just want something that stands as a legacy for this community and where we started. And so the Butterfly Garden is meant to do that. And then from there, we kind of discovered how many people equate butterflies to love, like visits from their lost loved ones.
Okay.
And so we're like, whoa, that we didn't even mean to do, like that's that discovery thing. Like, oops, didn't know that. Now all of a sudden we're having conversations about butterflies and how it reminds them of their loved ones who passed away. And I'm like, well, what a cool thing to be able to honor, because we work with so many people who are ill and sick, and just like loss is such a heavy thing, but we can just honor them. So we
Yes.
actually decided on top of the Butterfly Garden, a way we're going to fund it besides the concert will be through memorial butterflies that we're building with a metal worker. So where you can purchase them in memoriam of a loved one who's passed, and we're partnering with different gardens around the city. So they'll be just planted. So there'll be actual places where you can go visit these memorial butterflies to be able to go honor people who.
You thought of that? Who thought?
Yeah.
That just wow.
I just like wake up with ideas, man.
She
And then I stress Sarah out because
She
she's
calls me
like
immediately. I've
I
had
have
no
none.
coffee, and she's like,
Get
"Guess
like
what?"
7 a.m.
And I'm like, hold on, let me kind of just press the button to brew it, because I just
Like blah 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 idea. Yeah, it's ideas. They come, but it's executing is again where find your strengths and you fill in your gaps. So I'm not a big executor. Even when you talked about like how does it feel to get on the other side of the event, like I don't actually. It's funny. I'm such a starter. I don't really get a lot out of the shows, and I used to hate that about myself. Because I was like, oh, I should be so fulfilled, but like that's not what fulfills me. What fulfills me is getting it started and knowing that it's helping someone. But if I could stay in that start position,
Yeah.
I will be living my best life. So it's like we're all different. We're all wired differently, and learning to embrace, like, some people love to see it finish, and some people love to see it begun, and
Yeah.
we stay where we love to be. So.
Man, so, I noticed, in respects to the families, just surreal when you,
Happened 2 nights ago.
yeah, moments, like that, does it just, just push you more to keep this thing going, you know what I mean? Because people see the good and the great, but you guys, every story doesn't end like we would like.
Mhm.
And you guys got to process that and basically keep the drive going. Does that push you to do more? Like, man,
Yeah. So the cool thing about that story, her name was Valerie. She's 45. She would stage 4 liver and colon cancer. Her son is taking care of her. In a lot of ways, he gave up college to take care of his mom, which is such a beautiful story in and of itself, and
Yes.
deserves the utmost respect. And then her friends pulling for her. But when we did her event, when we met Valerie, initially we walked up to her door to come meet her for the first time, and she was just in her living room, like cane and a little bald head, and just because she looked so ill, and she was crying because she was starting to have to sell living room furniture to keep up with her bills because her disability didn't cover everything, and it's like that kind of stuff. We just keep hearing that story, and so what I want to do is beat the drum, like, hey, our system's broken, and maybe we can't change laws and policies, but there's people listening who can, and maybe we can't change the healthcare system and advocate, but there's people in that system who can, because I'm so sick of people having to sell everything to be sick, and just to know how the stories end. But here, a beautiful story of just unconditional love is we did a worship night for her at a local church.
Okay.
And her friend shared her story that she needed a live liver donor as any chance of survival. And 2 people came up by the end of the night willing to
Like 2
test.
strangers.
Major.
2 strangers just said, we'll test to see if we're a match. And
Wow.
and what a cool testament. So even though it didn't pan out how we thought, it was like, that's the power of
Yes.
being together, being in a room together, hearing a story, and you just never know what someone's gonna do. So the kindness of strangers, yeah, we just want to keep beating the drum that there's people out there, and we actually, it doesn't have to be as hard as we make it seem to like make a difference for someone's life. You can really have a lot of fun doing it,
Yes.
and that's what we hope to model. One of the things we hope to model.
And I heard you say something about the healthcare system. Does this lane have you, more into keeping up with the politics of the healthcare system, and it makes you, I'm sure it makes you want to pull your hair out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's insane.
Your passions can carry you down lanes that you never thought you would be in.
Yeah.
Like looking up things with the healthcare system and this country in particular compared to other countries. You know what I mean? So I do think we all agree the system is completely broken. And you know what I mean? So we're blessed to have organizations like you guys to at least try to stop the bleeding, if you will.
Yeah, and if we all can work together, we can change it. So it just, I wonder why often, like it makes me wonder why there's other alternatives in other countries and why other countries aren't as sick. Like, why do I keep watching us get poisoned? And so it's like, we've just been talking about like, okay, how do we bring more awareness to holistic? My friend that had breast cancer, that we started the whole thing for, she did a holistic treatments and just learned about the body, and I learned about the mind. We learned about foods and how your body responds to it. And there's so much that our system doesn't educate us on because they want us to be addicted to things.
Yes.
And so I'm hopeful and prayerful that with the right partners, we can bring more notice to this stuff, more advocacy, more preventative. But yeah, it's just.
I think awareness, that's a great thing you brought up, because a lot of people don't know, and it's surprising. I give a quick little story. I stopped by my mom's crib, and she's a news head, whatever, ABC News, she's like, whatever, right there, right? And they're speaking on Mr. Kennedy, and he's pressing against these diets and these foods. And I said, finally, I said, I've never in my life seen the government push against, what's going on.
Right.
With the FDA, what they allow and all that stuff. And my mom literally goes, well, what's going on with a diet? What do you mean about a diet? And I'm like, my mouth drops, you know what I mean?
No,
And yes, it's the old school. Yeah, because old school, yeah, it's just, they have, I said, Mom, it's your Fruit Loops, your Cheetos, all this stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is not natural for our bodies, you know what
I
I'm
have
saying?
no idea what to do with it.
And people have no clue about this stuff.
And then
you
they're
know?
like, we need more cancer funding to understand cancer research. I'm like, no, we don't. We don't need more of that.
And to the people at home, I mean, it's as simple to your deodorants, like, the older
We're
I've
running
gotten.
aluminum on our lymph nodes. That's weird.
I went through the whole
What's
process.
going on?
I went through the whole process. I went through a burn accident, and I feel like this is the one time when I was in the hospital to get my body right with stuff like that. So I detoxed off of regular deodorant, and then I finally went to, something that's safe for the body. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I try to watch the foods, but it's so many different factors. It's the drinks, it's the food,
It's literally
the
everything.
deodorant, it's everything.
Everything
What you put on your skin.
Literally everything.
I got the Yuka app. I've been scanning everything. Like, is this toxic? Is this toxic? Is this
Well,
toxic?
my conspiracy brain, and I'll get 434 Hub to cue like some spooky music right now.
Okay.
Conspiracy music time. Woo-doo, 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 woo-doo.
No, we do.
And not to get off the lane here, but we're cooking up here, guys. I really wonder about this FDA. These
Tight shot.
FDA guys, when I think about what's passed in America, I think about what it leads to, and I think about the money, the healthcare, and how I work in the hospital and all that stuff. And these guys are just partnering up, you know what I mean, to make a lot of money off of sickness and people being there now.
Listen. Yeah.
Who investigated? Okay, oops. CIA, please don't come for me. Let me know. I just put the CIA guys.
You're fine.
I mean, I wonder about these things.
Someone
Thank you. Love heals. Thank you so much.
I got you.
Love protection.
I'm not gonna protect you.
No, she can't
Someone
do
else.
anything.
Oh, okay.
I
Sorry.
can't do
She
nothing.
runs.
They recommend.
No, I freeze. I would just watch it happen. They come in here and they grab you and they take you out, and I would do nothing. I would just stare.
That was crazy.
Yeah, and then I would, after about 5 minutes after you were gone, I would finally move, and I'd be like, "That was wild. Like, what just happened?"
Courtney works for our security team now here at Candid Talk. She's head of the security team.
Head of security.
We're screwed.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
freeze, unfreeze.
Yep.
I just watch it happen. Anyway.
That's all right. So, but yeah, it makes your mind wander when you think all this crazy stuff or whatever. So, we'll save the conspiracy episode for next time. I
Sure.
promise you guys.
Oh, that's gonna be Jesse.
44. Oh yeah,
Good.
we'll have Jesse on for this one.
He's gonna love it.
Yes. So I wanted to know, how did you guys find these bands, and what do you? I guess you pitch your nonprofit organization to them, but how do you find these guys? These guys, your recommendation from people, or you just get on the internet, start looking around?
Yeah. The earlier shows, she and I played. She played a lot of them. I played a couple. We had local friends who were in little bands just doing local stuff. We've gone through booking agents.
Wait a second. She played. Y'all play instruments?
Yeah.
Look at this stage 5 band. I told you guys.
Stage left.
Stage left.
Stage 5.
Stage 5 sounds terminal.
Stage
Stage left. Stage left.
Good.
Stage left.
Oh, stage
Oh my
5 is
God.
off.
Stage 5 is
That is
correct.
crazy.
Yes. Okay.
Wow.
Man,
That
that's
was-
a transition pivot right there. What instruments? I gotta know. The people want to know this. What instruments do you guys play? And
I took like guitar lessons when I was 9 and I quit because I hated it and I was pissed. And then I was like, wait, I should have stuck with that. So I took it up again at like 13. And that is the level I still play at. So like what I learned when I was 13 to 14. So I play very basic level guitar and I sing a little.
She's a good singer.
oh wow,
She's a really good singer. She just won't say it.
I'm okay.
She's a good singer.
I like it.
Yeah.
Oh,
She's a
Sarah.
good singer, and I play guitar and piano, and
Yeah.
I also write
Yeah,
songs.
she's good.
But I haven't done any originals yet. But we are going to put together a little house show just for fun to play some little
Yeah.
originals and whatnot. Because I love songwriting. And like honestly, music is such a cool, that's why we love the shows, because it's like you're already there to listen to songs, and I think it's such a connection already.
Mhm.
And then when you bring in a story and you bring in a person, it's like you're already created an environment for fun and for listening. Like,
Yes,
what is
yes.
better than having a good time? To create an environment of having fun listening, but also knowing that your ticket just like made someone's life better. Like,
Oh,
how
yeah.
cool is that?
Yeah, definitely. No question, man.
Yeah.
And well, I gotta ask this question. I ask this to every guest I have. The end game, 15 years from now, Sarah, Courtney looks back. What do you want to see?
I'm not good at that.
I know those are
I
skills.
hate that stuff.
I know.
I like what's right here.
Look
I
at
get what's
Sarah.
right here. I don't
Look at Sarah's anxiety rising on
I
camera.
don't plan anything. I didn't know where I was going to college till like right before I was supposed to
That's-
apply. My application
yeah.
was almost late, and I was like, oh, I gotta do that. I should probably go to college. I didn't know. Like Jesse asked me
I should
yesterday.
go to
He
college.
was like, "What'd you want to do after college?" I was like, I don't know. I just
Figured
did
it out
whatever.
when I get there.
literally did whatever was like the next thing in front of me, and I got here. So it's been working.
Okay.
So-
Okay. Free spirit right here. We like that here.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
What
know
do you
that's
guys?
good.
You got any visions? And,
I mean, yeah, but like, do I know exactly how it's gonna pan out? No. But do I have some hopes? Yeah. I would like, I mean, I'm gonna say like the scariest vision ever that freaks out the Sarahs of the world.
Okay.
But I wanna see artists touring with this Love Heals model, which is supporting people through storytelling and financial support,
Nice.
touring across the globe.
Yeah.
I think there's international opportunity to free people who are trapped in literal slavery because they loaned money for a medical bill and they can't get out. I think that's a story that needs to be told, and those people can be freed through music, and there's stories all over the world, and music connects all over the place. We can have all opportunities to do reggae or rap or metal, or there's all kinds of ways that music connects to different communities.
Yes.
And each of those communities have people they can love and serve. So anyway, but on top of that, and like that's one thing, but we're working through like some other things. Like we did Coffee for Caregivers, which is another, it's kind of our response to our shows. When we did that event in California, cycling back to when Sarah entered stage left, not stage 5. Not stage 5.
Not stage 5.
Yeah.
I
Not
would
that.
never tell you, but I would just
Don't tell me. Yeah, she'll just go by be in the corner. But when Sarah came out, we did that show and we raised like 17 grand for Elaine.
Oh wow.
But which was cool. But like at the end of the day, her roommate Joe Garcia was willing to let Elaine move in with her, where she could take care of her and take her to her chemo appointments and help her track her pills. And if it wasn't for Joe giving up 2 years of investing in her career to walk her friend home, because her friend ultimately died of cancer in 2022, about a year after we had supported. If it wasn't for Joe, Elaine wouldn't have made it that long. And so it's like there's so many Joes out there.
Yeah.
There's so many Joes who are taking care of an aging parent or a child with special abilities or a sister or a brother. There's so many people taking care, and they're not getting paid for it, and they're also really not getting any encouragement.
Well,
And so
and I think half the, like, a lot of what we've found is, like, a lot of caregivers don't even realize that they are doing that because it's your spouse, it's your kid.
yeah,
It's
goes
not
beyond
a
the
title,
goal.
it's like,
Mhm.
I'm just gonna do it because I love that person.
Yeah.
So, we found they don't even realize they're doing something, but
Yeah.
it's really hard.
Yes.
It's expected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's cool. And it's fine that it's expected, but you should be at least given a community who can support you, and that you shouldn't just be expected to go figure it out. And so I hope that as we grow outside of Coffee for Caregivers, we're actually starting we're gonna do a 6-week trial with a Parkinson's group to
Okay.
work on. We're gonna do tuning forks at a local yoga studio that'll help them with their tremors, kind of ease that. And we'll take their caregiver spouses over for coffee and start a group there. And so we're just kind of starting to build that out. I hope to see little hubs of people finding little pockets of their own.
Yeah.
People who can kind of connect with where they're from and walk with them and then see them turn around and go. And that might be big or small. We built a curriculum for it. So I just hope to see little pockets of people being able to support one another, flourishing wherever people need it.
Well, you know, I love the way you guys stay connected to the people you come across. Myself, I know when I went through a near-death experience, you know, a lot of people are there that first moment, you know, the first moment of prayers, the first moment of, I'm sorry you're going through this. And then some weeks go by, people go back to their day job, they go back to their lives, but that person's still going through that. So for you guys to stay connected with these people and stay invested, that means a lot, you know what I mean? And you're very strong, independent women, and I want to tell you guys, there are little girls that look up to you, and you're humble, but they are, you know what I mean? So I believe in the cause, I love the cause, and honestly, sky's the limit, you know what I mean? I always say, when you're passionate about something, you know, you can really make it happen when you lock in. So, you know, we're gonna keep it going. I will be there. Let's try this out. Oceanic.
Hey!
Hey, that's it. There we go. Whoa.
Yeah.
That is my 30th time saying you guys' name. First time getting it right.
Yeah, I don't even know what you said.
I feel great.
I don't even know if I could repeat
Don't
back
try,
what you
don't
said.
confuse him.
Oh,
Don't confuse
I know exactly what.
I did too.
Oh,
Don't.
okay.
Do it. She said don't put it in the universe, y'all.
No, you don't want to confuse him.
Oh, get brave here. Oceanic.
There it is. It's times.
We're here for you. We're here for the cause. One more time before we get out of here. Who's the organization of flowers? Who's the organization we're working with? Who was it?
For the
Butterfly?
show, awareness,
Yes.
awareness
Yeah.
garden.
The awareness garden.
Awareness Garden.
Yep.
Definitely want to shout you guys out. Definitely. We're here for a good time, not a long time. Sarah,
Ew.
Courtney, any last shout outs? We got to make sure any promo plugs, any shout outs, anything.
Follow us on socials.
Instagram official.
Instagram is.
official.
Nope, shush.
I'm
Instagram
gonna
is.
stop talking.
Now or?
Instagram official.
It's Love Heals Official. Facebook is Love Heals. And TikTok is Love Heals Official. So go follow. Keep
Yeah.
up with all the things we're doing.
Yeah, come, and we're going on tour in the fall, so come hang out with us.
Nice. You guys heard it here, man. Episode 148 of Candid Talk. Love Hills, man. We've had a great time. We've laughed. We've learned. And I'm going to have some fun this weekend. I'm going to be there for that concert. You know what I mean?
It's gonna be great.
You know, you guys, for ticket information, we'll have all that stuff for you guys for the future. What's the website again? And we are?
We are loveheals.org.
There you go, right there, guys.
Yeah.
Again, man, this is fun. 434 Hub, thank you. This show's been produced by them. It will be on YouTube for your pleasure and your enjoyment, guys. As always, Anthony Train Johnson here. Like, share, subscribe, all the things I tell you they do every time. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, eyebrow. Or not, just enjoy this episode and just, you
And then
know,
walk away.
walk away.
Yeah.
It'll
Break
be our
your
one
laptop.
time. We'll remember this. It'll be like some random vacation in Vegas or something. But yeah, thank you guys.
We're going to Vegas.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah. See you in
What's it?
Vegas.
Cue the credits now.
Yeah,
Thank you guys.
Keep it
Candid
wrapped
Talk.
up.
We're out of here. That band, Oceanic.
Oceanic. I like Oceanic though. Oceanic is
It's
different.
just ocean.
Keep saying Ocean. Ocean.
Ocean.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be short.
It is like very
We're just
classy.
passing.
It's a classy word. Hard to lay people.
I literally just texted him and said, don't call back. I'm good. I'm not coming in. And then, I'm getting that random question. I was trying to remember who was dating who. Yeah, I went to go. Who money going here? Yeah.